Hi guys, hope you're having a great morning. It's Fred and Sheila with FS Investigates and Hatfield McCoy Museum Adventures.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us. If you look in the background there, that's what the story is on today. Mr.
Grant Matthew Harden.
That was the escapee.
They called him the Ozark Devil.
And he is back.
In custody. He's captured.
Back in custody. We knew he would be.
Yeah.
Sheila and I didn't have a doubt while we were down there. It was just totally different watching the Arkansas State Police work and watching the Kentucky State Police. That's different as black and white.
Mm-hmm. They were organized.
They were organized. They were on horseback. They had dogs. They was just everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And Sheila and I searched several places away from the prison that we thought if he did, when we first got there, we were searching as we were going in toward the prison. If we saw roads or something that we thought maybe, and we knew that it was in range for him to have gotten to within that time range, we would search it, woods or roads. Seen some pretty scenery, didn't we, babe?
Well, man, Arkansas is a beautiful state.
Beautiful. I
like to go back to just visit.
Yeah. Well, it was beautiful, and we saw a lot of things that we didn't video.
Mm-hmm.
We once we got down the road where you saw the road check, it's about video number 3 or so, and we went inside there in that area, and we realized how big that area was and how far away that area was from the railroad tracks and from the waterway, the river.
Mm-hmm.
We knew then he hadn't had a chance to get anywhere in that time range before they locked everything down.
Yeah.
Sheila and I just knew that he was in that area. And if we would have guessed the area, we would have said 1 to 3 miles, not over 5 at the most. He got in there and just buckled down. That's what he done. He was afraid to move.
Well, and of course he couldn't because they were searching everywhere for him.
They were everywhere.
So he didn't have a choice.
Sheila's going to play a video for you and give you an update, and then we'll comment on the other side, and then we'll be done with this part of our life.
Okay, here we go.
First tonight, prison escapee Grant Harden is now in custody after a nearly 2-week-long manhunt. These are new pictures we were getting from the Arkansas Border Patrol as Harden was captured. Harden was located this afternoon near Moccasin Creek in Ozark County by Arkansas law enforcement and U.S. Border Patrol after tracking dogs picked up on his scent. And new at 10, we're learning from Rand Champion from the Department of Corrections that Harden will now be housed at the Varner Unit, the most secure facility in the Arkansas prison system. It's also where death row inmates are held. Good evening and thank you for joining us. For your 5 News at 10, I'm Morgan Wrigley. Darren has the night off. We're continuing to follow the latest as the Stone County Sheriff's Office says that the public is, quote, no longer in danger. 5 News reporter Parker Abels is here right now with more on the capture. And what are you learning tonight, Parker?
Well, Morgan, Grant Harden was found today at 3:45 just outside a mile of North Central Unit in Calico Rock. And with Harden officially back in custody, I broke down what the last couple weeks has been like. On May 25th, the Devil and the Ozarks escaped from North Central Unit Prison in the middle of the day by using a makeshift police uniform and walking out the front gate. That according to the Arkansas Department of Corrections. And from there, the search began. For nearly 2 intense weeks, a massive manhunt unfolded with local, state, and federal agencies, including the U.S. Marshals and Border Patrol, mobilized to bring him in. Tips and possible sightings poured in from multiple counties, even spilling across state lines, adding to the urgency of the case. Since busting out of prison, Harden racked up new charges: escape from Ozark County and unlawful flight to avoid prosecution in the Eastern District of Arkansas. A combined $25,000 reward from the FBI and U.S. Marshals was on the table for any information that led to his capture. But now that he's in custody, it remains a mystery who, if anyone, will claim it. The ADC said Harden was finally tracked down near Moccasin Creek Creek in Ozark County thanks to the sharp noses of tracking dogs and the relentless efforts of the Arkansas law enforcement and U.S. Border Patrol. After his capture, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders said Arkansans can breathe a sigh of relief. The Ozark County Sheriff's Department said Grant Hardin was found around a mile and a half north of the prison he escaped from, and his identity has since been confirmed via fingerprinting. We sincerely appreciate the continued support of the community for all law enforcement and Department of Corrections personnel involved in this operation, said Ozark County Sheriff's Office. And with Hardin back in custody, officials are now saying the threat to the public is finally gone. Parker Abels, 5 News.
Wow, that's great. Oh, man. Here we go. Now.
Yeah, that was an interesting journey. Interesting memory for Sheila and I.
Yeah.
And that's what we do. We like making memories. Day's going to come where we won't be able to make memories, and we'll have these to think about. Plus, we was after that $25,000.
Well, that didn't hurt.
But we didn't have the same inkling that we did on the one with Joseph.
Right.
Joseph started out the same way. We just started out as a date night and thought we'd go do something, and then it turned into the more. We wasn't even expecting it, but we had a good journey.
Yes, we did.
And we pegged it right. We knew they would get him, matter of time.
Yeah.
And we knew that he wouldn't be far from the prison. So we're happy with our analogy.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we didn't just come up with that. We analyzed it and looked at things, and we just actually figured.
You're a very good investigator.
No, we're good together. We're good together. We're a team. But when we were on our way, we'd watched news footage before we went, and it was fake news, because the fake news said there's a railroad here, there's a river here, he could be anywhere, and they had a guy out on a boat. In fact, we were going to rent a boat.
Yeah.
And that river was
the current.
The water was up, and that river was so swift. Thank you, bud. That I was afraid to get out on that, and we boated a little bit, but I didn't want to get out there with one of them little boats like they had.
That was
and we was going to make a film for you guys, so you could see, just like the railroad track. He could have went here, he could have went there. Well, he could have, but he would have had to went through 1,000 troopers and National Guard and deputies and all this and that. So.
Yeah. So I'm just thankful that he is captured now, and that little community can breathe a sigh of relief and not have to worry about him being out there no longer.
Of course. Cute little town, cute little area.
Yes. Wonderful.
Got some beautiful Americas here. We're going to eventually get us we're going to do our boat thing still yet someday. We're going to travel, stay on a boat for about a year. Then we're going to do an RV thing. If it's the Lord's will, we want to do that.
Yeah, we live long enough to
get out of all this investigative stuff, and we just do that because we're tied down right now. But guys, that's it for me.
Okay. All right, guys. We just want to jump on here real quick and let you know, which I'm sure that you all do. But thanks for watching.
Stay tuned. Over the next 4 or 5 days, we're going to have a series of videos coming out where we've on the Johnny Edgerton. Any of you that's been keeping up with it, starting tomorrow, Sunday, Sheila will start the first series of videos. The first video of several, where we have talked to we interview and discuss things with 2 very important people that were there, that helped investigate the homicide. Sheila and I call it homicide of Johnny Edgerton, and we believe it was. But you're going to hear more, because there's other people that thinks otherwise, and we'll give you both sides. And we know how it was ruled by professionals, and it may be of interest to you if you're into the investigative part, or you're into the KSP Trooper Johnny Edgerton's death. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Okay. All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for watching, guys. We hope you're having a great day. Please like, subscribe, and share. And we'll catch you on the next one. Bye.